My name is Janelle Villiers, and I am the host of the Janelle Villiers podcast. Welcome, everybody, today to the show. I'm really excited about today's topic, but you know how I like to do. Before we begin, I just want to welcome all of the people who are watching. So if you are a first-time viewer, hello, welcome. Go ahead and put a 1 in the chat and let me know. I love to see all the first-time viewers. I always say hello. If this is not your first time, if you are coming back for some more information, go ahead and put a 2 in the comments. I want to shout out everyone who's returning. It's so good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. So I am all about talking about tips for book writing, also tips for how to make money off the books. Sometimes I even interview other authors so you guys can hear from other authors, hear their stories, what they've learned in their process, and then they share that with you. And then sometimes I interview people who haven't even written a book yet, but their story is so powerful that I want to make sure that we can share their story and expand the reach of their story so people can hear and be inspired and learn from others. That's what it's all about. That's what this life is all about, right? Okay, so I am excited because today we're going to talk about a topic that I think we've been talking about in like maybe circling around it, but maybe not getting exactly at it. And so I really am excited to talk about how your book is the best high ticket client filter. And I'm going to talk to you about how that is. So, again, I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this. If you know me, you know I have notes because I don't want you to miss a thing. I always sing that song in my head every time I talk about the notes that I have for you guys. So I really do have notes because I don't want you to miss anything. There are several things that we're going to talk about today. So because today has a lot to do with strategy, I really wanted to make sure that I had my notes for you so I could talk to you about all of it. So number one, when we're talking about how your book can be this filter, I think what happens is that people think that, or they start to understand that books don't convert to consulting clients. They don't necessarily make that like direct conversion. And so a lot of times us experts, what we do is we write a book expecting, oh, there's going to be all these people who are going to ask us about, how to work with us. And so you assume that the credibility will automatically translate into contracts or people working with you. Also, a lot of times publishers, if you work with a traditional publishing house, they only promote you for a very small amount of time. Months later, nothing meaningful actually changes in terms of your income and how much money is coming in. And so the book just kind of sits. You have this brand asset, but there's no real growth or like an engine to help with the growth behind it. And this can lead to a lot of frustration. Have been there, right? You did all this work, but why isn't it working? That's the real question, right? Did all this work, but why isn't it working? And so what I really want to start to identify is that the issue isn't really the book. I would say it's more around the architecture, or maybe like the structure that you are building around the book and how to have it help you convert. So, okay. A lot of times people write memoirs, or they write some sort of book that's supposed to be inspirational, but there's no strategy behind how to help other people transform their lives. And so a lot of times experts will write books that are written to share your experience. Been there too, totally have done that. And so because you focus on the story, or maybe the philosophy behind it, or even the inspiration, you don't necessarily guide your reader through how you changed your mind or how you got from one place to point A to point B. You don't necessarily show them how to do that, how to guide them through that. And so a lot of times the readers just finish the book thinking, okay, well, that was insightful, but they're not thinking like, oh, this person is able to solve my problem. That's what they're not thinking. And so if there isn't this like embedded, like, oh, this is how you do it, then there's no clear, like, people can't really explain that, like, oh, well, if I don't do something, then like it's going to cost me money by not doing anything, because they don't really understand how they get from point A to point B because you didn't outline like a structure. Does that make sense? So it definitely informs. People may feel a little bit inspired, but it doesn't necessarily find the people who are looking for the strategy and like, oh, well, like, can you teach us how you did that? That's not there. And so what you end up doing is you filter out these high ticket potential clients. And so that could be what you want. But if you're trying to filter them in, then that could potentially be what you're not wanting to do. So the key here is what you need to change in your thinking is you need to actually strategize how you're going to write the book. And I would say, number one, you should start to think about designing the book around the way in which you transformed. So number one, you have to talk about like where you were, right? So what does point A look like for you? And then eventually you're going to get to point B. And then in between, you're going to share the steps that it took to get to B, to get to this transformed way of being, this transformation, which is where, you guessed it, your readers also want to get to as well. So a strategic book is built essentially backwards. You're thinking of, okay, this is the highest value I can offer because I can help people get to this place that they really want to be, this transformation. And so if you think that way, like, this is where I want to get them, and instead of it being like a collection of thoughts, you're really structuring the journey. And so it's like, okay, well, I started here. And then you recognize, okay, what belief must shift before, like, this is where people are going to start with you, right? So what belief has to shift before they even hire you? What's a misconception maybe that has to be dismantled even before they hire you? What are the frameworks that define your method? And then what risks exist if they delay, if they don't actually take on your method? What risks are there for them? If you structure the book that way, that's going to be a completely different reading experience for the people who read your book. So the next thing that you need to do is you need to build the book as like progression, right? So first there's this awareness, like, oh, I'm aware that I have this problem. I'm at point A and I don't really like it. And then you have a diagnosis. Okay, this is the reason why I'm at point A. And then you share with them the framework that gets you from the diagnosis. Okay, this is why it's happening, to, okay, now I need to show the framework, the steps. What are the steps that I need to take in order to get me to the other side, right? To point B. And then you talk about, okay, the decisions that need to be made along the way, right? So each chapter should increase in terms of the sophistication, in terms of like understanding what are the steps that need to be taken to get you to point B. And each section essentially is going to sharpen the reader's self-awareness. So it's like steps, awareness, and it kind of like is leading to what they need to do to get to the other side of that. And you're basically helping to guide them. You're helping to guide them to see the problem more clearly. You're helping them to understand the cost more clearly of them not taking action. And you're also giving them a pathway that they can clearly see. And this is when, instead of filtering out, you're going to be filtering in the people that you're looking to work with. Okay, another thing that I think we need to think about when we're talking about how to strategize writing your book or creating the book is you want to provide proof or logic. So if you do like education, like essentially if you're educating the client before in your book, this shortens the cycle itself. So clients self-select themselves. They're, especially the high ticket people, they're not looking to be like sold. They're looking for alignment, right? They're looking like, oh yeah, this aligns with the way in which like I think, or aligns with where I want to be coming after this. And let me just pause because I'm halfway through. But if you're finding what I'm saying relatable, if you can relate to this and you're like, oof, I wish I would have done this with my book, or I have a book that I want to do this for, please put an R in the comments and let me know this is relatable. If you're finding value in what I'm saying and you're excited to like implement this, go ahead and put a V in the comments for value. Just let me know. Okay, so what we were talking about now is the thought process of these clients that you're looking to work with. They really are looking for clarity. And so what happens is when they read a book that's strategically designed, any objections that they have are addressed before they even get on a phone call with you, before they even meet you. There's alignment, like the words that you use feel aligned with what they're going through or where they want to be. They understand the frameworks and the steps that you're already outlining, the reason why you feel like those steps work. And so they understand that if they don't do anything, it's already internalized within them. Like, oh man, if I don't do this, this could hurt me, right? And so when you're having that first conversation with them, you're not like explaining anymore, right? It's more about like, how can you implement the steps into their world? So like a lot of times people will say things like, oh, like, tell me what you do. But instead, the conversations after they read your book will sound a little bit different. Maybe something like, I read what you wrote in your book, and I'm clearly at stage 3, right, of whatever the framework is. And so you understand like, oh, okay, like they're already farther ahead, right? Like they already know like what they need to do to get to the transformation. And so this is going to raise like the quality of the people that you end up working with, because they already have a sense of your framework. This is huge. And so the next thought, so again, if that was helpful, go ahead and put a V in the comments. If you found that valuable, let me know. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is how you use the book as a bridge for your intellectual property infrastructure. So what that means is essentially the book becomes your authority backbone, right? When you design it and you structure it properly, it anchors your thinking in a very public way. So people who have read your book, they're going to understand your way of thinking. They're going to talk about it in rooms where you're not even in, right? It definitely is going to help to give you content for your speaking engagements. I mean, let's be real, even in AI, right? So if you're doing content for speaking, but more specifically, typically for social media, right? You're going to input a lot of your talking engagements. You can put the transcript of that into AI so it starts to understand you, to be able to put out content that's really helpful. It also helps with like communicating with your team, right? All this now starts to become a part of your process. It's like your intellectual property. It's like your backbone. Like you have structure and strategy around all of this. And so the book then becomes a way to filter in the clients that you want. It increases the trust that you've been trying to create from the very beginning. Also, it kind of gives you a better sense of control, because like you can control like who read the book, who didn't, right? Like it kind of gives you more ability to identify those clients who have, because those are going to be the ones that you want to work with. And so basically it's marketing becomes less of a thing that's necessary. I shouldn't say not necessary, but like now you use the book as something that you market, because it will essentially market you. And so the book becomes like an enterprise, right? It becomes like a part of the full business structure, not just like this one-time thing or this thing that you have to market on the side as well as your business. It literally is a part of the whole entire infrastructure of your business. So again, if you found this helpful, please let me know. Put a V in the comments if you found this valuable. Put an R in the comments if you found this relatable and you feel like you're actually going to implement some of the things that I've been talking about. I would really love to hear it. And so really comes down to this. If you are someone out there who's looking to increase your high ticket clients, or maybe even your advisory services, what you need to do is understand is that exposure to who you are isn't necessarily the bottom. A lot of people think it's marketing. Oh, I got to get more eyes on me. And so it's not that you necessarily need more attention. You just need a better way to filter in the clients that you're looking for. So if your book is not shortening the sales cycle or elevating the size of your consultancy fee and attracting aligned people, then it might be time to rethink about the architecture with which you're building your business, and particularly with which you're writing your books. And so when you're really serious about this, you're going to start to build your business. You're going to start to build your authority with intention. It's going to be very intentional. It's not going to feel like an accident. And so if this is the level that you are operating at, I just want you to know that this is the conversation for you. I'm having it for you because I know how important this is. Now, if you guys want to talk more about this with me, Please go ahead and put chat in the comments and I'll reach out to you and we can set up a time for us to talk. I'm also doing a 2 free day events coming up on March 9th and 10th. From 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern on both days. It's my Earn Six Figures by Writing, Publishing, and Marketing Your Book. And we'll be talking about more of these strategies and how to build a framework around this. That way you can build your book into your business structure. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. That's it from me. Hopefully you took a lot of notes because I know I gave a lot of information. If you're watching this on the replay and you have more questions, go ahead and put your questions in the comments. I read all of the comments, so please go ahead and do that. I'm really looking forward to seeing many of you, hopefully in the upcoming masterclass. If not, next week, same time, same channel. See you guys then. Take care. Have a good night. Bye.